So I've been posting to this Patreon for about a month and a half, 2 months now. And I've been learning and collecting information as I go. I will start off by saying that so far, no one has joined up, which is totally fine if you haven't joined up, if you thought about joining up and haven't done it already. This is not a post being like, yo, why haven't you joined up yet? If you haven't joined up, there's a reason for it. And it's my job as an entrepreneur to figure out what that reason is. Some things that I know to be true about this account is that it's still, frankly, too vague. I have goals and ambitions for what I want this page to be, but it's hard to figure out if that's going to work just because of lack of feedback, also because of my own insecurities. I should state that, I think my overall goal with entrepreneurship in burlesque and in creative arts is to act as a sort of either consultant in networking or consultant in business, but I just don't have the experience to be able to say that oh yeah, if you pay me to consult you on how to grow your business, then it will grow, because frankly I've yet to apply those aspects to my own career. But I do hope that, as my own career continues to grow, that that's something that I can then put out into the world. It's also possible that, even though that's my intention, that's not what ends up happening. I'm someone who has never really flourished by trying to set a very specific goal and being like, I'm going to achieve it by this time. Usually that it yields the opposite. It leads to me being very disappointed and just never really achieving the goal in the way that I imagine. I find it helps to have a big picture of what it is I want to achieve, such as, making money from performances, making money from some sort of day job that I, get paid to do, to sustain my craft, to get community funding from fans and followers. But, how we get from point A to point B, if I try to map that out, then that's not really going to work. So that's the main thing, is okay, it's been a month and a half and no one's joined. Why is that? Is it that my content's not interesting enough? I don't think that's why. I think that when I post snippets of my videos on Instagram, they tend to reach a lot of people, and they also seem to resonate with people. They resonate with people in my current audience, and it makes me feel really connected to the people that currently follow me. So I don't think it's lack of entertainment or lack of insight or lack of value. What it could possibly be is that my videos don't look interesting enough. That's something I've kind of noticed. I tend to film these on my days off, and usually on my days off I don't want to get dressed up in beautiful costumes or do my makeup. But I know that if I want this to, online you want things to look nice, and right now this just doesn't look very nice, doesn't look very professional. I pride myself on my burlesque, looking professional, at least now I do. I want it to. And I need to, if I'm going to be posting videos, I want my videos to also have that same level of quality. I really just wanted to post these first ones without thinking of that so I could just get the ball rolling. I think now that the ball has been rolling, it is in my best interest to consider the aesthetic of what I'm trying to put out there, not just the product itself. Because I do think that my advice, insight, perspectives are genuinely valuable to the people who currently follow me, and will continue to be valuable for future followers and fans. The second thing is also that right now this Patreon benefits me, but I'm not really sure how it would benefit other people. As I mentioned earlier, I really want to eventually help performers become better business people. I want to help them make better connections. I want to help them make more money. I want to help them, figure out their own path. And yeah, I don't think currently I have the ability to do that yet. So I think I have to start incorporating that into my own life. I have to start building my own set of connections. I have to start, building my own business practices within my performing. And I have to start figuring out my own path as a performer and as someone who wants to do this professionally and full time. What does that look like? One thing that I really look towards are actors, the interviews that they do, the products that they promote, the general way that they promote themselves and are able to make money. I really love fashion, and I would love to become like a spokesperson for a fashion brand, like as a burlesque performer. I think that would be like manifesting dreams, you know, like me in an ad in like a fashion magazine. That would be so cool. Like that would be so cool. I would love to work in fashion as like a representative of a brand who I really admire. I would love to, you know, showcase clothing at events. I would love to talk about designers. I would love to really have a role in the high fashion sphere and combine that with my performing. Recently I had the luxury of getting to go to a really cool networking event where I met a lot of, you know, normies, a lot of people in the corporate space. And, you know, I was there at my day job, like selling jewelry, beautiful handmade, high fashion jewelry. And like, it was such a great reminder of like, when you're in the room with the right people, like, it doesn't matter how they identify. It doesn't matter if they're already into burlesque or like not, or like already into alternative jewelry. Like, as long as they see something exciting and that makes them feel like, oh wow, what's this new unique thing that brings me joy, then like it literally does not matter what their background is. Like that was a really helpful reminder. And I have to remind myself, because I get a lot of people being like, oh, like burlesque is so niche, and it is. But anyone can enjoy it. Anyone who's of age can enjoy it. I was of age when I enjoyed it, and like, I think it's a limiting belief to say that burlesque is a niche practice and therefore not worth pursuing. You know, there's truth to it, but to constantly be telling yourself that constantly telling yourself that is a disservice. It's a weakness. It's something that holds us back as an industry. And I would like to see this industry flourish even more. And I see the entertainment industry, I follow it very closely, and I see it change really fucking quickly. And it really is interesting to see how, like, celebrities that we hold to a higher power, you know, we're bringing them closer to earth. We're getting closer on each other's levels. It's really interesting. And I want to, take advantage of that and, you know, acknowledge, like, hey, if that can happen for them, that can happen for me. You know, this is not a video to be like, oh, I just want to be famous. I just want the fame. Once I'm famous, like, then everything will be solved. No, this is not that. But this is more just an acknowledgement of, like, you know, the more people I can reach and the more that I can understand what it is, what value they see in me, the more I can then, you know, meet their needs, you know? Like, that's another thing, is that my follower count has been really stagnant lately. I'm like barely at 3K and like barely getting new followers, and like I don't think it's an algorithmic thing. I think I'm just, or at least not a shadow banning algorithmic thing. I think it's just like my account's not being shown to many people, maybe, or maybe they see me and they're just not following me. So I need to figure that out as well. It's like it's like I love my current audience, but I think I do need to figure out how to reach more people in order to actually expand this, get feedback. So that's the main thing I'm not getting. I'm not getting a ton of feedback because, you know, people aren't paying me to talk to them yet. You know, you get to see me for free, which is great. But I haven't figured out why you won't pay me. And who would want to pay me. And that's important. That's important, you know. I think it's important to focus on the people who like are interested in you, maybe, you know, can't afford to pay you or want to pay you but are waiting for the right opportunity. I don't think that it's good business to ignore those people, but I think it's also really important to have good business with people who can't afford to pay you right now. And so I don't think I found those people yet. But even saying that, I'm like, oh, I haven't found my people yet. Like, I guess if some part of me feels like anyone can say that, but it's also true. It's like, I have a very small following, and I don't think I found the right people yet. You know, I'm close, but I'm not quite there, and I need to find them before I can get their input on what it is that they would like from me. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep posting these. We'll see what comes of it. So game plan, figure out a better look for this whole format. Try and up the follower base. And try and, you know, embody the values that I want to share with people within myself. Because I've been holding back, I think. And it's 2024. We're not holding back anymore. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.